Wire the branches, determine the shape you want to do, spread them out. Again, when you bend the branches, which you all know, use your fingers, spread them out, use the side branches, put them into position. And for shortening the tree, instead of keeping this main one here, I'm using a smaller gauge. This is just roughed out. I'm using a smaller branch, bringing the main branch back, which then gives this branch better taper towards the top of the tree. The top of the tree has now become a side or a back branch. And I'm doing what they've using a lot of and talking a lot of in some of the magazines now, particularly in Europe where they're doing compression wiring. I haven't got the right tree to do a real compression job, unfortunately, whereas using all the elements to lower the height of the tree. But by using this out to here, the tree's been shortened. It was easy to cut it off in the first place, but at this stage there's no need to, because you need a back branch here. So this will become your back branch toward the top of the tree. Now the tree looks more in proportion. Last one is a chain, a little bit older, the same sort of routine. The tree has quite a bit of a shape into it. This is quite an unusual figure. It's a Ficus platypoda, which is a small leaf mutton back. Really nice looking tree, a lot of potential. Nice curves in the tree. It's from 1996, so it's quite a nice old tree. Needs a bit more stabilisation, but it was root pruned last year, so that's the reason why it's a little bit wobbly. But nothing wrong with the tree at all. I nailed it into the pot this afternoon. So basically the same thing is to lower the branches, and this is where, I hate to keep coming back to this, it's such a good idea to wire, wire, wire. If you don't like it, learn to love it. If you don't, you won't get the desired effects that you want with your tree. Now, this is quite a gap from here to the first branch. That's why I chose this tree. So to alleviate that problem of looking quite stark, what we do is to sweep the branches down. And by bringing them down, that then fills in the what one would call negative space by putting in something into it, but leaving enough to make it look interesting. Because this is a fig, obviously these are easy material to work with for this demonstration. And then wiring all these down completely. And you can't swap your tree, by the way. And just forming a new crown here on the top of the tree. Just cut off a couple of little bits there. We now have a nice looking tree, and in the future it'll be quite an interesting effect because you've got nice curves in the trunk. The trunk at the base will only get fatter and bigger, but again, ultimately, you end up with an unusual, nice fig tree. So the traditional sort of fig, you get a nice, unusual sort of tree out of it too. Yes, well, you can do that. No end, you can put cuts in the base to fatten it up a bit more. But these grow so quickly, their root system, they have a tremendous root system on the figs, these are platypoda, and there's no problems at all. It will happen quite easily.
That's the full size of the leaf.
Yeah, that's full size. That's full size. But of course you can get them much smaller, just by defoliation, pruning. On figs, to keep the branch structure in, continuously pinch back the tips on the end. Otherwise you'll end up with big long branches and all the growth on the end. So push them back constantly. Pinch prune them half a dozen times a year. They'll grow quite quickly. So the platypoda in a antique Japanese pot.
Made in China.
In Taiwan. Well, trunk benders I find can be a problem. They've got the two hooks on either side, and you tighten the turnbuckle in the middle to bend the tree. You will get one bend in at a time. You'll also get, when the tree grows within 6 months, the hooks will cut into the tree a bit, I've always found. Then you do one bend here, then another bend there. By the time you come to do it up here, you've either got to have 3 benders on at the same time, or one. If you do one at a time, it's going to take you forever to do the trunk of the tree.
Lee, is there something special about compression wiring that you mentioned before?
Compression wiring, you're reading a lot about it. All it is try to give the bringing down the top of the tree to compressed. In Europe, they tend to be going now for a lot of bring the size of trees down, not having such tall trees, is to bring it down. So they're doing a lot of compression wiring. All they're doing is actually bringing the branches up from the back or lower down and bring it around. Instead of having an apex, they'll, like we've done here, they'll be bringing it down to form a crown at the top of the tree. That's all compression wiring is. Is bring it down to lower the effects of it. Usually you'll find it's on conifers where they haven't got a very good top. So they use a lot of branches from the back and sweep it around and even swirl it around the tree completely to develop a nice crown to the tree. Those that went to the convention in May, Gavin was there too with Liberace. He did a compression on a very small juniper. It turned out very nice. It was a lovely looking tree. But my concern about it is what happens in 3 to 5 years. All you've got are these trees with branches that have gone around and around, and you'll still never be able to see the proper structure of the tree. So it's a bit... I'm a bit concerned about it in the future of it.